From the phony war to the phony peace. After 3 years of fierce fighting, Putin knows that he has not won his war of aggression against Ukraine, which he initially thought he would conquer in 3 days, or at most 3 weeks. According to his early estimates, his special operation quickly turned into a phony war, in which he threw all his forces and sacrificed hundreds of thousands of men without achieving any significant results. Ukraine even managed to carry out deep strikes on Russian territory and occupy the Kursk region. With Trump's return to power and his inexplicable hostility toward Ukraine, the world suspected a secret deal between him and Putin, especially since the latter seemed to regain his smile and a renewed sense of confidence. The astonishing episode of the asymmetric confrontation between Trump and his deputy on one side and a poorly dressed Zelensky on the other, inside the Oval Office, further convinced global opinion that something suspicious was going on and that Ukraine was doomed. However, between that debacle and yesterday, March 11th, something happened that overturned the negotiation table and all the assumptions on it. One, Trump's and Zelensky's envoys in Jeddah quickly and easily agreed on a 30-day ceasefire, followed by the restoration of U.S. military aid, which had been suspended after the Oval Office battle. On the very same evening, 2, during the night of March 10th to 11th, while Zelensky and his representatives were already in Saudi Arabia, a massive wave of drones and missiles was launched at Moscow in the largest raid of its kind since February 2022. 3, in the press conference following the U.S.-Ukrainian talks, only the Americans spoke, delivering a message primarily aimed at the international public. If the Russians refuse the ceasefire, we will know who is for and who is against the war. We were familiar with the term phony war. Now we are discovering the phony peace, negotiated not by the parties involved in the conflict, but by a broker primarily looking after its own interests. At one point, it seemed as if the Americans were subcontracting on behalf of Russia within the framework of a geostrategic agreement. Yesterday, it appeared they were doing so in the name of world peace, in exchange for a small commission, payable in the form of a concession of mineral resources. Today, based on Trump's latest statements, one may wonder about the nature of their interests in Ukraine in exchange for their on-site protection. After publicly berating Zelensky to make him more pliable, Trump now seeks to force Putin to drastically lower his ambitions in a Ukraine that is now divided among 3 spheres of interest.